Well, I was at NASA Ames in March of 1962, and weather was good. I bought a used 750 cubic centimeter single cylinder Norton motorcycle to ride to and from work at NASA Ames and to enjoy day tripping on weekends within a few hundred miles radius around San Francisco, California, which was just up the way from where we were living in San Mateo. I bought it from a used motorcycle shop and was told the valve guides in the head were worn and should be repaired. It was going to cost a lot of money to do that, so I put a couple of washers under the existing valve springs, which made them set tighter, and then I rode the bike. Nothing could accelerate from a standing start as fast as a single cylinder Norton. The relatively big piston and crank could not continue to accelerate into faster revolutions per minute that the smaller motorcycle engines could. They ramped up at 200 and 300 RPM. One Saturday, I rode north across the Golden Gate Bridge and up Mount Tamalpais. Two guys in an open-top sports car started catching up with me on the uphill straight stretches, but I kept pulling away from them as I accelerated out of corners. It was great fun until I hit a patch of mud that had washed across the road in a corner, and I went down fast and hard before I knew much what hit me. I went down on my left side, and the foot peg kept the pavement from damaging my leg, though my left boot was pretty beat up. Roughly 2/3 of the foot peg had been ground off by the encounter with the pavement. The two guys in the sports car stopped, and we talked while I got up and checked myself and the Norton motorcycle out. I continued on north that day into an area called Big Lake. I remember seeing on that trip an amazing motorized wheel piece of equipment. Men drove it up to an orchard tree and wrapped a funnel of canvas underneath the tray and shook the tree so full the fruit fell out of it into a funnel that went down into a sack. I had some great memories of day trips during the weekends throughout March and April of '62. But I had a bad scare. In April, I was riding my Norton to work one morning and had an accident. So bad I sold my motorcycle for the same price I got it for. I was driving down a 6-lane wide freeway. There was another 6-lane wide freeway going north. But all of a sudden, for no reason, the cars on my side, the southbound lane, were slamming on their brakes and starting to bunch up. I managed to slip between cars in the two lanes to my left into the center of the gravel freeway that was covered in gravel and stopped. It took me several minutes to calm down and to realize I had been through a terribly close call that you could easily handle in a car with four wheels on the ground than I could in a two-wheel motorcycle. I didn't quite learn my lesson because some years later in 1966, I got another motorcycle. This time it was a 90 cubic centimeter single cylinder Honda whose wheels looked not much bigger than bicycle tires. I rode backtails all around the Geophysical Institute in Fairbanks and had a great time until a couple months later, until I had another bad experience. This time someone had put a hog fence across the bicycle path, or a walking path back into a trailer park. I threw the Honda and myself down on my left side again and slid into the fence. I was sure if I would have collided with that fence, I'd been badly hurt. I did not ride that Honda 90 again and sold it soon after for what I paid for it.